Hi everyone, I'm Erin and welcome to Tough Girl Topics. I've created this YouTube channel and Tough Girl Topics because I want to do a 4-part series talking about the different issues that women face in Ireland. I want to create a safe platform for young people to come and get educated on these problems that we face as young women. So the first topic I want to talk about is domestic violence. So if you've been affected or if it's a trigger warning for you, please just look away now. What is domestic violence? Domestic violence refers to any type of the use of physical force, emotional force, or the threat of physical force, which also includes sexual violence in an adult relationship. So what does domestic violence involve? It involves emotional abuse, destruction of property, isolation from friends and family, threats to other people like your children, stalking, control over money, food, phone, anything like that. So now I'm going to talk about the different types of violence that can occur in domestic violence. So first we have physical assault. So this would be causing or potentially causing harm to another person's body. So that would include shoving, biting, hitting, using a weapon, pushing or shoving. Next, I'm going to talk about emotional and psychological abuse. So this is when another person tries to cause or attempt psychological harm by using verbal aggression and threats. So this can include like humiliation, undermining of self-esteem, name calling, bullying, constantly being put down, and just being humiliated. Now, next we're going to talk about financial abuse. So this looks like controlling or blackmailing. So this could be when a person denies another person of the necessary funds, doesn't allow them to work, preventing the victim from becoming just financially independent. I talk about social abuse. So social abuse happens when their spouse or partner just doesn't let them go to any social events, doesn't let them meet up with friends or family, could actually potentially stop them from working and just stop leaving the house and just completely isolating them from everyone else. Then we have harassment, and harassment can happen online or in person. So this could be verbally abusing someone, sending them nasty messages, creating fake accounts on social media and just sending them horrible messages. This can be happens when someone's trying to bully someone, stalk them, intimidate another person. So now we're going to talk about domestic violence in Ireland. I'm going to be discussing Women's Aid for the next couple of minutes, and I will go into more detail on Women's Aid and different charities in Ireland. So 1 in 4 women in Ireland that have been in a relationship have been abused by a current or ex-partner. 2020, 29,717 contacts were made to Women's Aid. 290,584 visits were made to womensaid.ie. 1,893 disclosure of abuse in women. 5,948 disclosure against children. According to Safe Ireland in 2018, 53,627 calls were made about domestic violence. I mean, if we just look at the statistics, they're obviously just way too high. I mean, it's very frightening as a young woman in Ireland, and something has to change. This can't keep happening. Now we're going to move on and talk about sexual violence. So in 2020, there were 855 disclosure of sexual abuse made to Women's Aid, including 356 cases of rape. The Dublin Rape Crisis Centre National Helpline received 13,438 contacts in 2020. They supported 111 people remotely, and they saw 570 clients for therapy and counselling. 25% of these victims in 2020 were females under the age of 18. We'll move on and talk about the legal system in Ireland. So in 2021, there was 24,886 incidents of domestic violence reported to An Garda Síochána. In 2020, 4,000 criminals were charged in breach of the Domestic Violence Act. 7,600 charges were created in 2020, which involved domestic abuse. In 2020, Women's Aid accompanied 71 women to 112 court appointments for domestic abuse. If you want to learn more about domestic abuse, I will leave lots of links below for charities. So now I'm just after explaining the different signs that can happen in a domestic violence relationship. So now that I've talked about the violence that can occur in a domestic violence relationship, I'm going to move on by discussing the different charities that are out there to help you. If you are affected by anything that I've just said, please don't be afraid to reach out, that the help is there for you. I'm going to leave all the links below to all these charities and all the free contact numbers that you can reach out to. So the first charity I am going to be discussing is going to be Women's Aid. So as I've talked about Women's Aid, let's talk about what they do and who they are. So they're the leading national organisation that has been working in Ireland to stop domestic violence against women and children since 1974. Based one-to-one support service, and they've actually 6 locations around Dublin and the surrounding areas. So they're situated in Ballymun, Coolock, Dublin North Side and South Side, Dún Laoghaire and Swords. They also do meetups in hospitals or anywhere that you can safely meet someone. So if these buildings, if their locations aren't a safe place for you, they will find somewhere for you. So the services that they provide will be 24-hour national free call. They have one-to-one support, or they have court appointment services. So that means that if you are going to battle in court, if you're going to court, that they will help you. Seek abuse information and support. Get help locally, so they can help you locally. Their free phone number is 1800 341 900. I'm going to leave a link below to their website so you can go look at all the information yourself if you need. Next thing I'm going to talk about is Alvin's Charity. So Alvin's Charity was set up in 1981 by a local group in Ballymun that were taking part in a leadership and development course. They actually applied for a 3-bedroom house in response to the needs of women and children fleeing domestic violence. In June 1988, Alvin's was officially an established business, and they started employing people through the social employment scheme. Years on, and Alvin's has grown exponentially to best meet the needs for women and children that are suffering from any stage of domestic violence. So now I'm going to talk about the services that Alvin's provide. So they actually have safe emergency accommodation. So they actually currently have 10 houses where they can place 10 families. The services that they provide while you're staying at these safe houses include one-to-one and group psycho-educational work. Then they also do infant massages, breakfast clubs. They do evening classes which include relaxation, cooking, flower arrangements. They do a homework club and parenting workshops. If you want to contact Alvin's, they have a free phone number which is 1800 7676. Like the previous with Women's Aid, I will be leaving a link down below if you want to go check that out. Next thing I want to talk about is Safe Ireland. So Safe Ireland actually just want to end domestic violence against women and children in Ireland. They want to make Ireland the safest country for women and children. They have a unique approach. They're very head on, and they're really just a great service. So what does Safe Ireland provide? So if you go onto their website, they have a section on where to find any charity or anywhere you can get help if you're experiencing domestic violence in Ireland. They have a safety information to make sure that you are safe and make sure you're not in any immediate danger. The understanding of domestic abuse, so that you have a clear understanding of what is happening and what is going on. They also have a section of the types of support that is available. Victims, like I said before, the link is below. If you have been affected by anything that was said in this video, please speak out. You are not alone. I just want to say then thanks everyone for watching, and come back because my next video is going to be on sexual and reproductive rights.